Be Andrew the Yang or Eric Adams, right? So the establishment, they picked Eric the Yang or Eric the Adams and Andrew the Yang. So Andrew the Yang, I'm just starting, okay, getting into his. He just got so much fucking shit. So I'm going to keep on working on this. But this is what I know about Andrew Yang. What is Andrew Yang going to bring to New York City? He's going to bring a limited knowledge of the city's budget. 1 in 5 New Yorkers live in poverty. 1 in 5 New Yorkers are poor. 20% in New York. You need a war on poverty. You got to take care of homelessness. Take care of poverty. Andrew Yang, he's Mr. UBI man, right? I'm sure we're going to take care of poverty and take care of homelessness. Okay, Andrew Yang. What does Andrew Yang believe? What is Andrew Yang all about? Andrew Yang wants a vaccine passport plan for Broadway shows. He wants a cash relief program for 500,000 New Yorkers living in poverty, a program he hopes to grow over the years with philanthropic support, public funds, private donations, eliminating tax breaks for property tax-exempt landlords, public safety. This is Duterte. He wants more plainclothes special teams with special super extrajudicial powers to go after the, really the guns or the drugs or the major felony crimes actually fell in New York, but there was an increase in shootings and homicides. Hate crimes also rose, particularly against Asian Americans, a trend that has continued this year with several instances of violent attacks in just recent weeks. Now, Andrew Yang, he wants a public People's Bank of New York City, a People's Bank, a public financial institution that would automatically enroll New Yorkers who receive the basic income benefit. And then they'll be able to use that as leverage. Initially funded with a $100 million city loan, expand banking access to 350,000 households in the city that don't have a bank account, provide capital to existing community development financial institutions that already seek to address this need. The bank would also give loan guarantees to small businesses and microloans of up to $50,000 to people hoping to start their own businesses. Pass the Small Business Job Survival Act. It's another plank to Andrew Yang's platform. This would regulate commercial lease renewals for small businesses. The bill has languished before City Council, become far more moderate in its efforts to institute a form of commercial rent control in more than 15 years since its original introduction. A new collaborative uniform repair enforcement program headed by a small business czar. So there you go. We're going to get a new small business czar. Jesus Christ, a fucking small business Nazi. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's what New York City needs, right? A fucking small business Nazi. And Yang is going to give it to you. The small business czar is going to oversee recovery efforts between the Department of Consumer Affairs, Department of Small Business Services, and the offices of minority and women-owned business enterprises. His administration would impose a 1-year moratorium on small business fines and help support businesses to comply with regulations with encouragement and motivating cheers. Andrew the Yang's other small business ideas include advocating before the state legislature for a vacancy tax on empty store fronts, low and no interest loans to businesses through the People's Bank, automatically renewing licenses and permits without fees, extending a cap on third-party app-based delivery fees, increasing contracts to M/WBEs, a spending voucher program, easing regulations on nonprofits, a city-run crowdsourcing platform for small businesses, and much, much more. Much more. For public schools, Andrew the Yang wants to hire more tutors. He also wants to establish full-time positions for the Civilian Complaint Review Board, which is a police oversight agency, given either the CCRB, another independent committee, to make the power to make the final disciplinary determinations. Something about the Asian Hate Crime Task Force. He's going to increase the budget for that. He also wants more police on the subways an increase in police funding to tackle rising crime on the subway system. He's going to go after gun violence. He wants to make sure cure violence programs, let's see, recognize gun violence as a public health crisis. He wants more money, I guess, or to finance cure violence programs. He wants to expand mental health counseling for police officers and mental health response units for people experiencing crises. So there you go. There you go. That's not defund the police. We're going to refund the police and double the funding for the police and then get mental health for the people, maybe some for the people, but make sure just get the cops some mental health counseling, which of course they need, but we all, you know, okay. So launch a clergy coalition to protect houses of worship. New York Police Department officers must be deployed at major centers of nightlife so patrons feel safe and so violence can be interrupted. Gun violence and crime remains concentrated in 10 to 14 precincts across the 5 boroughs. Preventing and responding to gun violence requires a clear, community-centered, place-based approach. Create a rapid response community request process for additional street lighting with a focus on NYCHA. Every neighborhood in the city, especially those with increasing levels of street crime, must have adequate street lighting. The current administration must create a clear, rapid response request process so that all communities request an additional street lighting receive it before the start of the summer. This is of particular importance at the NYCHA, where residents and tenant associations have requested additional lighting for years. With no response from New York City, the government thereof release funding for the cure violence and anti-violence organizations now, well before the new fiscal year. De Blasio, he already did that. But do it again. New York City's Cure Violence program, this is an evidence-based national effort that started from grassroots organizations to do some good work. He also wants to appoint a deputy mayor for public and community safety. So that's going to be his pit bull, right? That's going to be his Israel. He's going to have, you know, he's going to go around smiling for the people, and then he's going to have his pit bull going around just attacking, you know, anybody, Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, whoever the hell, just, you know. Andrew Yang will ensure that the city has a coordinated strategy at the highest level of city government, multiple city agencies, with oversight of the criminal justice system and community safety across the continuum of violence prevention to reentry. The New York Police Department, the Mayor's Office of Criminal Justice, MOCJ, the New York City Commission on Human Rights, the CCHR, the Department of Probation, the Department of Correction, the DOC, countless agencies with law enforcement embedded in them, from the homeless services to the Department of Education. As a result, we lack a citywide strategy for violence prevention, violence interruption, and responding to violence after it has occurred. Goddamn violence, fucking goddamn violence! The Yang administration will ensure that New York City has one coordinated response to keeping New Yorkers safe. Just one totalitarian Leviathan state. That's what Andrew Yang is going to bring. Just one gigantic totalitarian nation, city, state Yang. Just one big Leviathan Yang. Just a big-ass fucking boot of fucking Andrew the Yang in your goddamn face. Forever. A boot in the face of humanity forever. Is that what fucking Andrew Yang? Jesus Christ, Andrew Yang. Read some fucking George Orwell. Read some 1984, motherfucker. Andrew Yang is just too goddamn, he's almost like, he's as right-wing as motherfucking Eric Adams, and maybe that's the point. I guess Eric Adams is going to do a universal basic income program, right? Or they're just fucking cheating off each other's goddamn fucking platforms and shit. Motherfuckers. So there you go. Vote for Andrew Yang and you'll get yourself a deputy mayor for public and community.